Fix my servers in 10 minutes or you're fired. No, forget fired. I'll make sure you never work in tech again." The words echoed through the empty server room at 2:47 a.m. Victoria Ashford, the 32-year-old CEO of CloudNova Systems, stood in her $4,000 Armani suit, staring at the security guard who'd just offered to help. Marcus Hayes looked up from his night shift desk. His worn uniform was a stark contrast to her designer heels. He was 38, with gray at his temples and hands that had once written code protecting a billion users. Now, those same hands held a flashlight and a walkie-talkie. "Ma'am, I wasn't asking for a job. I was offering to help." Victoria's laugh was sharp, cutting. "You? Help? Do you even know what a server is? My entire IT department, Stanford graduates, MIT PhD-S, they've been trying to fix this for 3 hours. My company is losing $50,000 every minute we're offline." She turned to leave, already dialing her insurance company, preparing for catastrophe. Then Marcus said something that made her freeze. "You have a DDoS attack masking a SQL injection in your authentication layer. Your firewall is fighting the wrong battle." Victoria spun around. "What did you just say?" Marcus stood up. The name tag on his uniform was faded, worn from years of washing. "Your team is fighting the symptom, not the disease. The attacker's real target is your backup servers. They're not crashing your main system. They're slowly cloning it. In 10 minutes, they'll have everything you own, and you won't even realize it's gone." Victoria's expression shifted, from mockery to suspicion, from suspicion to calculation. "How do you—" "Because I designed the same system 12 years ago. For Google." The room went silent. One of the exhausted engineers stepped forward, Linda Chen, fresh out of MIT, with dark circles under her eyes. "Google's first cloud security architecture. That's impossible. The lead on that team was Marcus Hayes, and he is here," Marcus said quietly. "Standing right here, working security, because sometimes life gives people a lot less than they deserve." Victoria's phone rang. She glanced at the screen. Senator Morrison, one of her biggest donors. She answered, her voice suddenly sweet and professional. "Senator Morrison." "Yes, I'm aware the donation portal is down. Yes, I know we're losing $2 million in pledges. What? You're considering other platforms?" Her face went white. "Senator, please, just give me 1 hour." The call ended. She stood there, frozen. Then her eyes landed on Marcus. Really looked at him for the first time. Not just the uniform, but the man inside it. In those tired eyes was the ghost of someone who once mattered. "Can you do this?" Her voice was a whisper. "Can you actually fix it?" Marcus checked his watch. 9 minutes left, maybe 10. "Yes, I can, but I have conditions." "Conditions? Are you kidding me? I don't even know you're Marcus Hayes. And my conditions are these. You give me full access to the server room. No one interferes. And afterward, your company donates $47,000 for my daughter's surgery." Victoria's eyebrows shot up. "Are you blackmailing me?" "No." "I'm negotiating. Your loss right now is $15 million. Mine is my daughter's life. You decide which is worth more." One of the engineers interjected. "Ma'am, we don't have time. If he really was on the Google team—" "Shut up." Victoria's gaze never left Marcus. Something was calculating inside her. Risk, trust, desperation. "Fine. $47,000. But if you fail, I'll have you removed from this building not just as a security guard, but as a trespasser. Understood?" Marcus nodded. "Understood." Victoria extended her security card. "Go." "Linda, go with him. Document everything he does." When Marcus entered the server room, all his senses came alive. The cold air, the low hum of LED lights, racks full of blinking equipment, this was his old world. The air he once breathed. Linda stood behind him, tablet in hand, skeptical but desperate. Where do you start? Not by isolating the main attack. Marcus sat at a terminal, his fingers dancing across the keyboard. By understanding what the real game is. Look. He showed her the screen. This DDoS attack is real, but it's too noisy, too obvious. A professional hacker would never do it this way. Then why? Because they want to distract you. While your firewall focuses on these thousands of fake requests, the real attack is happening here. He opened another window. Lines of code streamed. Elegant, minimal, almost invisible. Linda leaned forward, her eyes widening. This is in our authentication layer. How did they get in there? They didn't have to break in. You invited them. Marcus opened a log file. 3 days ago, someone from your IT department downloaded a security update. It looked legitimate. Even had a Microsoft signature. Fake, of course. Inside that update was a back door. Who could do this? Marcus's face darkened. Only a few people, and I know one of them. His fingers accelerated. Code lines flowed, each command following the next. Linda watched, mesmerized and frightened. This wasn't like what they taught in college. This was war, silent, digital, merciless. There, Marcus hit a key. The back door. Now I'm going to reverse it. What do you mean, reverse it? The attackers opened a tunnel to get into your system. I'm using that tunnel to get back into theirs. Linda's breath caught. Isn't that illegal? Marcus looked at her. In his eyes was exhaustion, but also something else. Righteousness. Someone's trying to steal my daughter's life. The time for playing by the rules is over. The screen changed. A new interface opened, dark, minimal, dangerous looking. I'm in. Linda watched over his shoulder. Where are we? In the attacker's control panel. Look. He opened a file list. They're not just stealing your data. There are 14 other companies here, all cloud systems, all sharing the same architectural vulnerability. Who are they? Marcus traced an IP address, then a server location, then a corporate registration. His face tightened. Phoenix Digital Security, of course. You know them? I worked for them. 7 years ago. After I left, they copied the systems I designed and sold them to competitors. Now they're using the weaknesses in those systems to hack companies, then sell them security consulting. Linda's voice was angry. That's a protection racket. Yes, and completely legal. Technically, they're not stealing data, just testing. Companies pay because they're afraid of being exposed. So, what happens now? Marcus smiled. For the first time, it was a real smile. Now, we teach them a lesson. His fingers moved again, this time faster, more purposeful. Phoenix's system is built on the data they steal. If that data gets corrupted, their entire operation collapses, Linda understood. Exactly. Marcus entered the final command. And now I'm using their own weapons against them. The screen flashed, then went silent. Linda waited. Did it work? Marcus leaned back. It worked. All of Phoenix's stolen data is now encrypted. The decryption key has been sent to the FBI's cybercrime unit. Their options now: either go to the FBI to ask for the key and confess their crimes, or shut down their operations. Linda let out a laugh, incredulous, relieved. You're a genius. No, I'm just a father who knows what happens when someone plays with my daughter's life. When they emerged from the server room, Victoria was waiting, an unreadable expression on her face. Well, Marcus nodded. Your system is secure. The attack is stopped, your data is protected, and the attackers won't be a problem anymore. Victoria's breath suddenly released, like she'd been holding it for 3 hours. How? The details are complicated, but Linda can explain everything to you. Marcus handed her security card back. $47,000 to my daughter's hospital, Mercy Medical Center. Emma Hayes. Surgery is Friday. He turned to leave. Wait. Victoria's voice was soft, not commanding, almost pleading. Just wait. Marcus stopped but didn't turn around. Why? Victoria's voice was breaking. Why are you a security guard? Why? Here, in this uniform, on this shift. Marcus looked over his shoulder. Because 7 years ago, my wife died. Cancer. She was dying while I was in a Pentagon server room, fixing something important. I even missed her funeral. Emma was 2 then. She didn't understand why her mother left. His voice thickened. So, I made a decision. I would never neglect my daughter for important work again. That's why I resigned, rejected the offers, and found a job where I could go home right after my shift and have dinner with my daughter. But your talents won't bring my daughter back. Money won't either. But I can be there. Every day, every night. That's why I'm here. He turned, facing her fully. This might not make sense to you, Miss Ashford. But for some people, success isn't measured by how many zeros you have. It's measured by how many times you can look into your daughter's eyes and say, I love you. Victoria's eyes filled with tears. She quickly turned away so they wouldn't see. Linda, show Marcus to my office. We need to talk. And call finance. $47,000, immediate transfer, emergency processing. Linda nodded, guiding Marcus. Victoria's office was on the 40th floor. City view, minimalist design, cold and perfect. Marcus stood by the window, looking down. Victoria poured whiskey into a glass. Didn't drink it, just held it. 12 years ago, I attended a conference at Stanford. You were there. You spoke about trust architecture. I asked you a question. Marcus turned, surprised. You remember? Every word. I said, how do you build a system that 1 billion people trust? And you said, first, you must trust yourself. Because a system isn't just code. It's the person who writes it. Victoria set the glass on the desk. That sentence is why I started CloudNova. In every line of code, every hiring decision, I thought about what you said. And then? Marcus's voice was soft. Then I became a monster. I focused so much on success that I forgot to see the people around me. Tonight, you, a security guard, did what 6 MIT graduates couldn't. And I didn't even ask your daughter's name. Emma. Marcus smiled. Her name is Emma. She's 9. She loves robots. She counts stars with me every night. And without heart surgery, she won't live another year. Victoria's face tightened. Which hospital? Mercy Medical, Dr. Patterson's team. They're the best, but insurance doesn't cover it. And How much? Victoria's voice was sharp, in business mode. $47,000 for the surgery. But afterward, medications, checkups, maybe $80,000 total. Victoria picked up her phone, dialed a number. James? Victoria. Yes, I know what time it is. Listen, we're making a $100,000 donation to Mercy Medical Center, in Emma Hayes' name. Covers the surgery and 5 years of follow-up care. No, we're not discussing it. Do it now. She hung up, looked at Marcus. Problem solved. Marcus was speechless. Why would you? Because tonight you reminded me what matters. And because. Victoria paused. Because if I had a daughter, I'd want her to have a father who'd do the same for her. Marcus's eyes filled. He couldn't speak, just nodded. And one more thing, Victoria continued. Monday morning, you start as Chief Security Architect. Salary $250,000 plus stock options. 9 to 5, remote work allowed, flexible hours for Emma's appointments. Do you accept? Marcus laughed, surprised, happy, disbelieving. I accept. 6 months later. Emma Hayes sat in CloudNova's new office lobby, writing code on her laptop. The scar on her chest had healed. Color had returned to her face. She was smiling. Victoria approached, carrying 2 lemonades. "How's it going, young inventor?" Emma showed her screen. "Dad's teaching me Python." "Look, I'm making my own game." "Amazing." Victoria sat beside her. "Can I ask you something?" "Sure." "About your dad. Did you know how special he was? All these years?" Emma thought about it. "I didn't know his job was important. But I knew he was important to me. He came home every night, made breakfast every morning, never missed my school plays. I think that's more important." Victoria's eyes watered. "You're right. That's much more important." Marcus appeared from down the corridor discussing something with Linda and 2 engineers. But when he saw Emma, the discussion ended. He walked to his daughter, knelt down. "Hey, sweetie, how was your day?" "Great." Victoria gave me a new project, designing a game to test the company's security system. Marcus looked at Victoria, eyebrows raised. Victoria shrugged. "What?" "Talent runs in the family. Plus, the 9-year-old has found 2 security vulnerabilities so far. I'm thinking of hiring her." Emma giggled. "I'm 9. Then you'll start as an intern." Victoria stood, extended her hand to Marcus. "Good work today." The Phoenix case verdict came through. 5 years prison, $50 million damages. We won. Marcus shook her hand. We won. As a team. Yes, as a team. Victoria smiled, a real warm smile. Also, you're both invited to Emma's birthday party Saturday night. At the office. There'll be cake, games. And a coding competition, Emma interjected. And a coding competition, Victoria confirmed. Because normal birthday parties are boring. Emma hugged Victoria. Marcus watched his daughter happy, safe, loved. Once he'd measured success in lines of code. Then he learned to measure success by Emma's smile. Now he knew success could include both. That night, when Emma went to bed, Marcus read her a story. But this time Emma interrupted. "Dad, why is Victoria so good to us?" Marcus thought about it. "Because sometimes people forget what's important. And then someone reminds them. Victoria reminded me of many things. I reminded her of a few, too." "Like what?" "Like how the greatest success is spending time with the people you love." Emma smiled, closed her eyes. "Then you're the most successful dad in the world." Marcus kissed his daughter's forehead. "And you're the most amazing daughter in the world." As he left the room, he saw a message on his phone. From Victoria. Meeting tomorrow morning. New project. Free security system for small companies. Emma's idea. Want to discuss it with you. Marcus smiled, replied, "I'll be there." But leaving at 5. Dinner with Emma. Victoria's response came instantly. "Of course, I'm coming too. Pizza sound good?" Marcus closed his phone, looked out at the city from the window. Once he'd seen himself as one of this city's invisible people. Now he knew that invisibility was sometimes a strength, because the people who matter, the ones who truly matter, always see you. Emma had always seen him. Victoria was learning, and that was worth more than any line of code. The end.